The Pope, discussing the existence of God with an out-and-out atheist, starts off very correctly, discussion, and as the hours go by, it gets more and more heated, and eventually the Pope turns to the man and he said, "The moment! Just the moment! You, come here. You are like a man who is totally blindfolded in a dark room looking for a black cat that is not there." The fellow said, "With all respect, Your Holiness, I think there's great similarity between us both." He said, "What do you mean, similarity?" He said, "Well, as far as I'm concerned, you are like a man who is blindfolded in a totally dark room looking for a black cat that isn't there. The only difference is that you found it."
Hello. Oh. I'm afraid of Muslims. I mean, not all Muslims. That would be wrong. I'm afraid of, it might be a small group of Muslims I'm afraid of. I'm not sure. Might even be just like one Muslim that I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of the Muslim who might hear me tell a joke tonight and say to himself, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool to kill him?" That Muslim scares the shit out of me. Because I know he's out there. I know he exists. That Muslim, there was a guy arrested in Florida a little while ago. He was plotting to murder Matt Stone and Trey Parker from South Park. Because they did an episode where they put Muhammad in a bear suit, which for Matt and Trey is a fucking cop-out anyway. They did an episode about Muslims and they didn't want to depict the prophet, so they put him in a bear suit, proving Matt and Trey are also terrified of Muslims. All comedians are terrified. Muslim comedians are terrified of other Muslims. Because I would love to tell you a joke tonight about Muhammad, but I won't, because I'm scared. Just scared. But I can say the most offensive thing I can think of about Jesus Christ tonight. I can say, Jesus Christ was a pedophile. Yeah, with halitosis. Yeah, fuck you. He was a pedophile. In fact, that's what the kids would object to. They would say, "Jesus, we don't mind the raping so much, but for fuck's sakes, floss occasionally, your mouth smells like ass." Now, I can say that here tonight. And however offensive it is, I can say that I can leave here tonight and I can walk home through the most dangerous Christian neighborhood in town and live. And that's something we can all be proud of. Even you assholes up there can be proud of it. We can all be, as a culture, we can be proud of the fact that we've gotten to the point where we can hear something that might be horribly offensive to us, but we don't necessarily have to murder the person who said it. We can satisfy ourselves with a hearty tusk. We no longer think God needs us to have his back. He's not in heaven going, "Did you hear what he said? You just sat there. You don't love me. You never loved me." That's a shitty God. So we can be proud of it, but we shouldn't be smug about it. We shouldn't be too smug about it, because we've got to remember, we're not better than the Islamic world. We're just further down the exact same road, right? You know, because we got to remember that Christianity had like a 600-year head start on Islam, right? You wind the clock back 600 years on Christianity, and I'm a stand-up comedian working during the Inquisition. I just might skip my Jesus bit.
But you know, the longer you listen to this abortion debate, the more you hear this phrase, sanctity of life. You've heard that, sanctity of life. You believe in it? Personally, I think it's a bunch of shit. Well, I mean, life is sacred? Who said so? God? Hey, if you read history, you realize that God is one of the leading causes of death. Has been for thousands of years. Hindus, Muslims, Jews, Christians, all taking turns killing each other because God told them it was a good idea. The sword of God, the blood of the Lamb, vengeance is mine. Millions of dead motherfuckers. Millions of dead motherfuckers, all because they gave the wrong answer to the God question. You believe in God? No. Dead. You believe in God? Yes. You believe in my God? No. Dead. My God has a bigger dick than your God. Thousands of years. Thousands of years. And all the best wars, too. The bloodiest, most brutal wars fought, all based on religious hatred. Which is fine with me, hey? Anytime a bunch of holy people want to kill each other, I'm a happy guy. But don't be giving me all this shit about the sanctity of life. I mean, even if there were such a thing, I don't think it's something you can blame on God. Now, you know where the sanctity of life came from? We made it up. You know why? 'Cause we're alive. Self-interest. Living people have a strong interest in promoting the idea that somehow life is sacred. You don't see Abbott and Costello running around talking about this shit, do you? We're not hearing a whole lot from Mussolini on the subject. What's the latest from JFK? Not a goddamn thing. Because JFK, Mussolini, and Abbott and Costello are fucking dead. They're fucking dead. And dead people give less than a shit about the sanctity of life. Only living people care about it, so the whole thing grows out of a completely biased point of view. It's a self-serving, man-made bullshit story. It's one of these things we tell ourselves so we'll feel noble. Life is sacred. Makes you feel noble. Well, let me ask you this. If everything that ever lived is dead, and everything alive is going to die, where does the sacred part come in? I'm having trouble with that. Because, I mean, even with this stuff we preach about the sanctity of life, we don't practice it. We don't practice it. Look at what we kill. Mosquitoes and flies, because they're pests. Lions and tigers, because it's fun. Chickens and pigs, because we're hungry. Pheasants and quails, because it's fun. And we're hungry. And people, we kill people, because they're pests. And it's fun. And you might have noticed something else. The sanctity of life doesn't seem to apply to cancer cells, does it? You rarely see a bumper sticker that says, "Save the tumors." Or "I break for advanced melanoma." Viruses, mold, mildew, maggots, fungus, weeds, E. coli bacteria, the crabs. Nothing sacred about those things. So at best, the sanctity of life is kind of a selective thing. We get to choose which forms of life we feel are sacred, and we get to kill the rest. Pretty neat deal, huh? You know how we got it? We made the whole fucking thing up.
You can only beat hate with love. Now, in saying that, I hate Muslims. Hang on, I didn't finish my sentence. I hate Muslims, I hate Christians, I hate the Amish, I hate Buddhists, I hate the snake people, I hate Jews, I don't know who I've missed here. Sikhs, I hate all. Our fight in this world is not against Islam, it's against religion. Be very clear about this. Because I can tell you this for sure. No one's head has ever been cut off in the name of atheism. No one has ever cut into human flesh and looked down camera and gone, "In the name of nothing!" Now, let me be clear about this. If you're religious, I'm sure some of you might be very nice, but you are slowing us down. We're trying to move forward and you're in the fucking way. I'm sorry.
Very open and very honest.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are the lessons that you learned?
The truth doesn't hurt. Whatever it is, it doesn't
Really?
hurt. It's better to know the truth. I remember my mum only lied to me about one thing. She said there was a God. And, but that's because when you're a working class mum, Jesus is like an unpaid babysitter. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of like, she wants you to be good. You know, the best working class mum where I grew up she wasn't hoping I'd be a doctor or a lawyer. She hoped I wouldn't be stabbed to death in a barroom fight, you know. So the best thing to do is, well, if he's God-fearing, then he'd be good. It's a good rule of thumb because, you know, I went to Sunday school from about the age of 4 till 8. There was just great teachings of Jesus. I loved Jesus. He was my superhero. He really was. God was magic, right? But Jesus was just a man. And what I loved about Jesus was he was kind. And he was brave, and I thought he was amazing. And I thought he was brilliant, like, just a brilliant guy, you know. So I was about 8, and my brother must have been 19. He came in once, and I was doing something from the Bible, and I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, drawing Jesus." And he went, "Who was Jesus?" I said, "Well, he was the Son of God." He went, "Why do you believe in God?" Right? And my mum went, "Bob, shut up." And I knew she had something to hide. And he was telling the truth. And I knew from body language. And then I worked it out, and I was an atheist in an hour.
In an hour?
Yeah. It's true. I wish there was a God. I wish there was. It would be great. What I've heard, he's brilliant, you know. But, you can't believe in something you don't. Also, if there is a God, why did he make me an atheist? That was his first mistake. Well, the talking snake was his first mistake, but